Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, I had myself some fun this morning. I had no idea I was going to gain a modicum, and more than a modicum, of respect and admiration for a celebrity, well, most of whom I just call celebrities, but I would never call Ananda Lewis that hesitantly, because with the famous people, I know there's probably something going on because she married Harry Smith. And they've been married for quite a while. That's their very handsome son down there. And he's part of the Smith family. And Ananda has worked directly, and Harry Smith worked with Will at the beginning. They had a production company, but Ananda has continued to work with their production company, and she's close with her niece and nephew Jada and Jaden. So that always makes me a little bit suspicious, but at the same time, he's black, the child is beautifully black. Ananda says that her heritage is Native American and black, but everybody that I see is just black because her mother, whom she's now reconciled with, and her father she's reconciled with, her mother left her when she was young after a divorce from her father with her grandmother. And her grandmother is a Tulsa, the riots of Tulsa. She survived the riots. Her own mother, that would be Ananda's great-grandmother, hid them under the floorboards in their house, her and her two children, and made them be quiet while it wasn't the riots, it was the massacre. And I think that has, growing up with that woman, must have greatly influenced her, even though she said she had her difficulties with her grandmother too. But at the same time, this is her grandmother who is currently 108 years old, and Ananda was doing an interview. I just saw this clip right here, just celebrating what she's done, and she was in a room with the survivors from the Tulsa massacre. So I'm just figuring, whatever the relationship is, I don't discern, because my experience in life, I've just known incredibly good people. Perfect? Heck no, no such thing. But not just out and out, everybody is going to be an agent or an operative. There's a lot of really good people who want to do the right thing. And I'm just making a general conclusion based on what I found about the things that she's done, that she could be one of those genuine people. However, it is what the media is doing to her concerning the reported stage 4 breast cancer that she's suffering from. And Dr. Shi reminded me this morning that, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So these dudes are going to be making buco loads of money with the orchestrated attack of Fukushima fallout. And right now, I know you had to have noticed that Google and I don't know who owns it, Mark Zuckerberg with Meta, they're all buying up old nuclear power plants that should have been decommissioned. I'm like, these dudes are vicious, that I wouldn't want them in charge of those types of facilities at all, and those facilities should have never existed in the first place. However, the entire medical industry, I do believe cancer is their #1 source of income. They are about to get so much money, and they don't want that interrupted. And so Ananda, they're using her. I listened to this interview to highlight at the outset her dear friend. They showed a picture of them hugging together when they were both young. And Ananda, sorry, I'm mispronouncing her name. I didn't watch her. I was not interested in that type of, culture. Even at my age, she was younger than me. She's 51 and I'm 61, so 10 years. And that made a difference once I had matured enough. I wasn't amazed. I'd never really been amazed by celebrities. So I didn't watch her, and so my apologies if I mispronounce her name several times throughout this. I also entreat you to watch the entire video because I'm going to be sharing some remedies that, because Ananda more than likely is surrounded by, and I don't mean this as an insult, but Negropeans, where we get our information from the very people who have hidden their genocidal intentions towards us, and even from each other. White people don't tell each other the stuff that I've been researching when it comes to Fukushima. And I wish I could do the background, but I can't because that's on StreamYard where I show the energy frequency. But please watch the entire video because it's going to be packed with information. And there's so much to share when it comes to what is overcoming Ananda that just watching the whole video is incredible support for me. Going to 25000yearcycle.org and purchasing Dr. She's products and my products, which are amazing. They work because we do the research off the, preferred Negropean path where they just figured that, yes, and I really, through that, I can tell that Ananda embraces her blackness. She even did a documentary, some Driving While Black. I've never watched it, but from just a precursory look through this morning, I'm like, okay, she a sister. I am hesitant because when I saw her on MTV with Teen Summit and the rest of it, I know they're going to promote that flaxinated stuff. And so that would be a reason. And I even concluded back then when I looked at her, I was like, okay, yeah, they're going to give you that job, but they're not going to put a sister. And I don't even mean a sister like me because I'm brown. I'm like a deep, rich, natural hair sister. They're not going to put a sister like that up in any prominent position. So I got that. And I expected to not find wonderful things about this woman. But I did. And what intrigued me first was in her own treatment, because it's her body, and they're trying to take that right away from all of us. In her treatment, she was embracing alternative methods. However, without understanding the impact of the radiation, you're going to be consuming items that could be heavily contaminated. I have no time to watch her videos, her shares over here on Instagram, but I really like her. I like how she's engaging, she's positive, she's humble. Ain't a whole lot of makeup going on up in here, and that immediately, lets me know that she's just herself. She's attempting to be herself. I don't know her personally. I don't know what's going to happen, because did she volunteer to be sort of harangued in the media? When you look it up, it's all over the place. And about her having stage 4 cancer that has now spread to both breasts. I don't know if she's agreed to be the poster child for, this is why you don't do alternative methods. This is perfect, because if you do not understand about Fukushima, You could be eating the healthiest food in the world, trying to live your best life, and it don't matter. This right here, she did a share where she was, lying down on the ground, so happy that it's raining in California. The rain is radioactive. Dear sister, the rain is radioactive. Right? You living in California. I don't know how many people I told you need to get off there. That screams. She doesn't have a friggin' clue about what she's been surrounded by, what she may have eaten. Is she eating the seafood? Is she on the sea moss train? I didn't see anything about the sea moss, but as I said, I saw the thumbnail with the raw living spirulina. Now, spirulina doesn't have to come directly from the ocean, but like all plant matter, organic fish, all of it is going to absorb massive quantities of whatever radiation is in the water. Thereby, it would have to be, because a lot of spirulina is produced indoors, but still, do the people who are growing it, do they filter the water? Because its ability, like the sea moss, to absorb everything around it is deadly. That's why there's been a specific campaign pushing sea moss on us. And oh my goodness, I was so encouraged that a brother who, he just is such a warrior there for us, and I'm not going to say his name, but he messaged me on IG to let me know that after me just trying to be nice and warn him because he's selling sea moss to stop, he said he stopped, and he surely has. And that is so fortifying for my goals, my just battle as the only person on the entire planet who has studied radiation, man-made radiation in depth, that I know what it does. Nobody can talk me out of knowing the science. So when I saw a Daily Mail article showing this sad face of Ananda Lewis and swearing she had refused mammograms for a year due to a fear of radiation exposure, I was like, oh, I see. This is a setup here to scare black sisters like you and me out of knowing the entire gamut of what we're facing, so that at a critical point, because even demons don't want to die. And I'm not, oh, no way. That's a good sister. I could tell Ananda Lewis has, even though she's surrounded by people who haven't got a goddamn clue, she exudes a genuineness that I admire. And so they are wanting to take advantage of that fearful moment, that moment of terror, where you get that terrible diagnosis, and then you, oh, I heard about Ananda Lewis. What can I do? I should lop them both off. Okay. That'll be $5 billion. I should get the chemotherapy. Okay. I should get the mustard gas like they used during World War I. That's where they developed the whole idea of chemotherapy. Oh, if we just give them enough poison and we stop them from dying right at the point where every cell is dead, then maybe it'll just kill all the bad cells, and then we can bring them back to life or something. And a lot of people die from just the chemotherapy, including the practitioners of administering chemotherapy drugs. I watched my own father succumb that way. All right? And so they know they got you at that point. They know that, oh, well, we're going to give you radiation to destroy the cancer cells, when I had already shared that mammographies, according to medical institutions and journals, should have been stopped a long time ago. There's thermographies, which just measure the temperature of the breast tissue, and cancer cells are hotter. They're hotter, right? They're trying to survive all on their own as rebels inside your body, and because they have the same DNA as your other cells have, the other cells kind of, I don't know, I'm not, getting the right nutrition in order to tell if you're my friend or my foe, right? There's a mutiny going on in your body because you're not giving it what it needs to thwart all oncomers. However, when it comes to the radiation, there's certain levels where anybody is going to be obliterated. I sure as heck would not be like so full of myself as to move over to the West Coast and think I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to be so full of myself that I think that without you sharing the warning that I'm going to be okay without you. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be okay without Ananda. I don't want her to clock out. She's a beautiful sister. And she is upstanding. She's character. I've seen photos where I'm like, okay, you're showing a little bit too much flesh. But right now, the mindset, that has been normalized. And they want to take us to the next level where deviancy becomes normalized with Black Us. That's what Kamala was all about. So I'm wishing this queen the absolute best. I hope somehow or another she gets this video, because she seems to ask questions. She seems to follow her own inner guidance. She had a video on her IG where she was about embracing getting older. She has a website that's slowage.co. I don't remember, but she's trying to be of benefit to others besides herself. That's an amazing, rare, and beautiful thing. So really, I'll put the playlist at the end. It's the radiation. Okay, I didn't put it the way I usually, because I like the way it sounds. It's the radiation, stupid. But we're not stupid. We're beguiled. We're beguiled. And we're surrounded by others who are sometimes even more beguiled than we are, and will try to harangue us into believing we're not doing the right thing when we are doing exactly what we need to do. And I cannot recommend this as a treatment, but I'm sure they've scrubbed it from the internet. Let me go check. Yep, there you go. You can't find it. You cannot find it the way that it was easy to find several years back. That doesn't change anything. And as I say, I'm not sharing this as a diagnosis or anything, not misinformation. I'm just noting the fact that articles that were easy to find ain't easy to find anymore, okay? It's just general crap that they got up there. But I did the research back then because I knew about Fukushima. I'm just saying. Go on over to 25000yearcycle.org. And you could get the downloadable version of Furnace of Affliction, Healing Radiation Damage to the Human Body. Or you can go to Amazon and buy it for a larger price. But the wonderful thing is if there's some sort of issue, then, well, actually, you could buy the print version from me directly, and I'll ship it to you immediately. I ship it out right straight away. And I've got all the research that I've done, because there's certain places where freedom of speech still works, even though they're working hard on changing everything. You notice that? Because they don't want their genocide to be interrupted. They don't want you to know there are remedies for radioactive contamination. All right? And go through the playlist, is the radiation, in order to discover details that if I put it in this would be like, I don't know how daggone long. Okay, so thank you. If you have made it all the way through this far, I surely appreciate it. And yes, I need your help. But The products on 25000yearcycle.org are my gratitude for your help, because I made sure I made them with all the sincerity and genuineness that I have myself. And you can know that I ain't kidding you just by my continuous deeds. Okay? All right. Mwah! Straight Black Pride, and we own everything. Peace and blessings, family. I love you.